right, so welcome everyone. Some of your faces are familiar to me from my home, so we'll talk about that a little later. But what I thought I'd do is I'd go around the screen and call you and just give me in just 2 to 3 sentences your name and some background, what you feel you know, what you would like to get out of this class. Um, Anything else that you want us to know about, but we'll take about 2 to 3 sentences. So I'm going to go first. I'll start it off. So I'm Ann Schimberg, and I live in Sarasota, Florida. I am originally from Maryland. Was Baltimore, then Randallstown.
Oh,
And I grew up modern Orthodox, and we switched to conservative when my oldest was going into fourth grade. So, and I feel I got the most out of being in a conservative synagogue because even then it wasn't egalitarian, that one then, they still included women in certain things. So I did go to Hebrew school. It was a modern Orthodox, and I was with boys, which was very unusual. But that's where I learned my Hebrew. And I relearned. I will tell you, Hebrew's a hard language. And with my children, I relearned. I learned what's called Ashkenazi. When you say tav, sav, that letter has two sounds. Well, my kids learned Sephardic, and it's tav, tav. So I switched, and I still sometimes make some mistakes because when it's been embedded in your brain from 7 years old, it's kind of hard. But I do love doing things Jewish. I always tell people I live, breathe, and eat Jewishly. Judaism, I get a lot out of it. I'm a synagogue goer, and I still am learning prayers better. There are sometimes they go so fast, and you'll find that. So you just got to take your time and be patient with yourselves because, no matter how long, if, like I say, when they go so fast, they're often not pronouncing it properly. I mean, I've listened to them. God bless and it's mostly the men who went to what they called cheder. Cheder was 5 days a week, and they learned it, but they zipped through it. So we're not going to zip through it. We're going to try and learn how to really say these words. And, whatever I add to it, you'll get from there. So that's it. Now, Denise, you're on my screen first.
okay. I'm Denise Brand, and I live in Hamilton Township, New Jersey, right outside of Trenton, or Trenton, as we say. And I am my girlfriend calls me a new Jew. I just converted 5 years ago. Something I think Anne has heard this. Judaism was calling to me for a very, very long time. And when I lost my son, it pushed me I needed some spirituality, and I had been studying Judaism. It just got to me. I, like Anne, I try to go to synagogue every week, even if I have to Zoom it. But converting to Judaism was the best thing I ever did in my life. I'm so happy being Jewish. And I think that a friend of mine told me I have a Jewish soul. Listen, I'm half Sicilian. There's not a whole lot of difference. So other than the Virgin Mary, when it comes to guilt and stuff like that, Sicilians got it right. I mean, they have it down pat. So there's not a lot of difference, but I'm just very happy. And I thank Anne for having this class because I can't wait to get bat mitzvah.
All right, great, very good. I'm just going to say this one thing to any of you who have chosen Judaism, and my assumption is maybe one or two others of you have. So, as who was it who said it? I don't know if it was Debbie. We all really do choose Judaism. Even though I'm born Jewish, my family were Jewish, I still choose to do those things that are Jewish and to make me who I am. And that's, I think, what all of us do. Just the fact that you're here wanting to learn more of this heritage and this culture, you're just choosing to be Jewish and to really enhance who you are. Okay, Jen.
Hi, I am Jennifer Wood. I'm from Georgia, near Augusta, a little town called Lincolnton. Um, I grew up Christian and converted a lot of years ago with my kids. They all had their bar bat mitzvahs. They're all, the youngest is 20 now. So my Hebrew level, I took probably almost 20 years ago, I did um, a modern Hebrew class. And then I also did learn to read. I can read Torah if I have a tape and can work on it for like 6 months. Uh,
Okay.
but I can follow along with the prayers, and that kind of thing. But I am nowhere near very good at it. So
All right.
that's it.
That's great. Very good. Edith.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Could I
evening.
say to Jen, I think my best friend from fourth grade, second grade, that moved to this community from Georgia. I think she was from that same hometown. Yeah, I think that,
Okay.
yeah. Um, I, well, of course, I'm Jewish by choice, but I'm very proud of how I got here. I grew up Christian, and I was in this. It wasn't a church. It was. I was with this under this minister, and he came in one Sunday morning and said, "This is it. This is the last week that I'm going to be preaching on Sunday. We're switching to Sabbath worshipers." And so it split the church, of course, and some of us followed him. And that led to messianic practice. And about in 2010 and 11, my sister was very ill. I was going in Baltimore at the time, and my sister was very ill here in the county, and I needed better access to her when I got out of service. So I found Kol Shalom in Annapolis, and that's where I've been ever since. And when I arrived, I knew basically two words, Shabbat Shalom. And I'm very pleased that this course was offered because I've been looking for a class forever. I registered at the community college, and it didn't happen for lack of attendance. And so I have been just hungry for the opportunity to learn Hebrew. I started to teach myself for a while, but I couldn't speed up. So I was in a Talmud class, and I left the class because I could not speed up with the Hebrew. So now I'm thinking about returning.
Well, that's hard to teach yourself. It really is. You have to hear it from someone
Yeah.
who knows it. Okay. Well, very good. Geraldine.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, so this is what happened. I was on a world religions tour with the UUs, the Universal Unitarian Universalist, or Universalist Unitarian, you know what I mean. And I convinced another classmate from my training class with pastoral visitors at the hospital, who happens to be Muslim, to attend the 9-month class with me. And that's Shahida. And so we started, and really enjoying it. We could afford the fancy, world religions class, so we were looking for something affordable, and we found something here in Columbia, Maryland. Started at, and each month there was a focus on various religions. We would have the classroom aspects, maybe some speakers, and then we would go out into community to whether it was I didn't make it to the synagogue, but to this place, that place, or whatever. During this time is when my mother became acutely ill and died. So I missed the whole Judaism presentation, but I had my former aerobics kickboxer teacher, who I knew was Jewish, and other people in the neighborhood who are Jewish. And so I asked them, well, can I come to service with you sometime? And of course they said yes. And then I got sick and then COVID happened. So, and for me, probably the best thing that could have happened, everybody looks at COVID and everything negative. For me, and I'm not trying to minimize the devastating effects of the disease, but it compelled me to try to lift myself up and go online. And this is after hearing a series of Friday concerts by professional oboists, Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. And I finally, at the next Friday, came to Beth Shalom online. And I've been coming ever since.
Good.
I found that there were many things as I was learning that seemed to align pretty well with me. And I come from a family of a lot of ministers and lawyers. Okay, so this has been an incredible journey. I think this past between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, I've been on emotional stuff. It was very meaningful for me, and I continue. I want to learn more. In terms now, Hebrew and I have had our back. We've been talking for a little bit here during the last year and a half. I was in the one to get everybody rolls too fast for me. You know, I'm given a book and told, well, here, you learn this. That doesn't work for me. I have some challenges in learning. I cannot learn that way. So if I take the same class 12 times just because I need it 12 times, that's what I'm going to do until I learn it.
Okay.
So
I
get
do
ready, Anne.
I have a question for you and for Edith. Just out of my own curiosity, are you going through formal conversion? Jerry Lynn, are you going through a formal conversion, or did you?
I don't know what you mean by formal conversion.
Okay. With a rabbi.
Okay. Have I met the rabbi? Have we talked? Yes.
Yeah.
Did
Okay.
she start a class? My rabbi is about to retire, so things are a little whatever. So I'm taking every opportunity to help myself as we're going through this process.
All right. I'll make another thing. And Edith, have you done any?
I would visit my daughter in California, and I would visit the synagogue out there at Conservative Synagogue. And when the first time we walked in, the rabbi said, "Are you converted?" Because they only had a few people. They needed the minyan. And that's the first time I understood what it meant not to be counted. So I came back to my rabbi in Annapolis and I said, "Rabbi, we're ready to move up to the next level." So we converted back in 2000. I said we because I had a friend that was very active at the time. And we converted, let me see, I have a password. I think it's June
That's okay. That's all right.
June 17th, 2015, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I will say that is something that I learned from one of my rabbis is not everybody does go through what's called formal conversion with a rabbi. But if you continue to study and you continue to practice and you continue to learn about Judaism and you feel that this is who you are, then this is who you are. There are some people way back when they used to make a big fuss about it, but the point is, it's how you feel who you are, that you feel that you're Jewish and that it's in your soul. And I believe that. I believe that everybody who decides that they're going to be Jewish, to choose that Judaism, it's in you. It's in your neshama, your soul. And we're all always learning. So, okay, very good. Thank you. Sheila, what's your background? Where are you from and all?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sheila Gersh. I live in New City, New York, which is about 40 minutes northwest of Manhattan. You said you're from Randall, were living in Randallstown. You had a cousin who lived there, Rose Saperstein. Does that name ring a bell? Rose in Sydney.
I knew some Sapersteins. I might. Yeah, it's a big
I
Jewish
remember
community.
visiting when that first became a town. Anyway, I first learned some Hebrew. What really brought me to learning Hebrew 23 years ago when I had my father's first site 23 years ago, and I was called up to the Bima to do an Aliyah. Even though the phonetics were there, I just couldn't do it. And I said, for the second Aliyah, I'm going to know how to read Hebrew. And coincidentally, my synagogue did have a first level of Hebrew class, and I did take it. And, and I started going, my mom passed away, it'll be 15 years. It was just 15 years out of Rosh Hashanah. So I went to Minyan every single day, morning and night for 7 or 8 years. Because of
Wow.
my work, I couldn't go in the morning, so I didn't stop going. So, I'm able to read slowly.
Okay.
And now, ever since COVID, well, actually, I continue to go to Shabbat services for the past 16 years. I go to services every single Shabbat, so I can follow along in the prayers. I can read some of them, but of course, everyone in the synagogue who is on the Bima goes very quickly, so I can follow along. And when we do the Amida, I could do part of it. When they do it out loud, I can follow along. When I do it silently, I have to look more at the English because I want to know what I'm reading in order to keep up with the group.
Good.
So I have been going this past year since COVID online. I've been doing morning services. I do evening minyan, morning minyan.
Wow.
I just go to minyan all the time. I go to Friday night services. I go to Shabbat services,
Good for you.
and during the evening services, I've become familiar with running the Mincha service, which is very simple because it's just 3 prayers and you have to do 3 or 4 lines out loud. So
Wow.
I've learned to do that this year.
Okay.
And
That's good.
and then on Shabbat, I've been going, and once we started going inside, not many people came. So now I'm the second Gabbai
Oh,
on the
okay.
Bima. But as you said, I can follow along as the Torah reader reads, but he goes so fast, I could never. But someone just gave me an idea of learning. My granddaughter's going to be bat mitzvah in a year and a half, and wouldn't it be great for me to be able to read a small Torah portion that day? So
That's a
thanks for the
good,
idea.
that's a
Isn't
good
that a good
ambition.
goal?
Very
So
good.
I'm
All
here
right.
because I want to, learn to improve my reading and read a
Okay.
little faster, but I do know all of the alphabet, of course.
Okay.
Thanks, dear.
Good. All right. Very good. Very good. Judy.
Yes, hi. I'm Judy. Good evening, everyone. I live in Queens, New York, and I've been attending the Bat Mitzvah class, of course, through BQLI Women's League. And yeah, so I guess I have a long story too, kind of. Um, so I grew up, I guess you would say modern Orthodox. I went to Hebrew school. I didn't want to go to Hebrew high school. I pushed back against my parents, of course, much to my dismay later in life. And I wish I had, but I then kind of lost interest, even though I observed, all the holidays and yeah. And even now, no worries. Even now, um, and my brother, who doesn't really observe at all anymore, but I do. I you know, kind of did a 360 and became interested and became a synagogue goer and a shul goer. I actually got roped into joining the sisterhood board of my synagogue. I started going to services a lot. Before COVID, I was part of the Millionaire group, which I realized how important that was. At the time, we had it in person twice in the morning and then a couple nights during the week.
Okay.
And I would try to go, certainly I was there in the morning at 7 before, I even had to go to work.
Do you
So
read Hebrew? Do you read Hebrew?
I do read Hebrew. We actually just had a Hebrew class with our husband, a few of us, but I need to learn more. And yes, I have
Good.
the same issue as some of the other ladies where I can't read quickly, can't always follow the Torah reading. The same with the Amidah. I have trouble getting through it quickly, so I end up also reading the English until I get to the part I can read. I can follow like the high holiday services, Shabbat services, but
Good.
I definitely need to read more. But with once COVID happened, we started to have Zoom minions and Zoom services. And then I was really totally a regular goer. And then unfortunately, because I lost my husband to COVID last year, I
I'm
was saying
sorry.
Kaddish. Thank you. I was saying Kaddish, via Zoom. Yeah, everything was anyway. So
Okay. All right. I'm so
pretty
sorry.
much
Oh,
it.
wow. All right. Well, we'll do.
Yes.
Okay.
But
I'll say a couple things afterwards after I hear from Michelle. So, Michelle, let's hear your story. What have you got?
Well, thank you for having me in the class. I realize that I'm a little bit less advanced than everyone else, but hello everyone. My name is Michelle. I converted 4 years ago, and I'm very involved in it. I'm glad to hear that Sheila and Judy are very involved in Minion because I love Minion, and I don't miss Minion either. I've done a little bit of everything in my synagogue, many different positions. I love the ritual committee, so I was involved in ritual committee. I was involved in membership, so I was part of membership and became the leader in that. Then I was involved in the kitchen. Now that's a fun part, having to deal with all the meals in the synagogue and all the wonderful things. So I've gone through a lot of different experiences, obviously, coming from my background, like almost everyone in the class, Christian background. And once I made the decision, well, I don't think you make the decision. I truly think that Hashem calls you to be a part of the family again. I truly believe that, like you said, Anne. And so I love it. I love being Jewish. I'm actually a little bit more observant than most of my friends, that are around. So I'm the one who's actually encouraging them to be a little bit more observant, a little bit better in following their faith, or Judaism. And so it's all I can say. I love it, and I thank you for the opportunity. And I know the alphabet, but I get it confused
Okay.
sometimes. And so I do need to practice more, and I need to be able to catch up. I took a class. It was a basic Hebrew class with my rabbi, and I was able to catch up really well. But obviously, because of the holidays and the summer, then he didn't do any more classes. And so I thought it would be perfect to start with you guys, and hopefully I won't frustrate you too much, Anne.
No,
And
no, 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 no,
promise
no.
I will
No, no,
practice.
no.
You
No,
know,
no I don't get frustrated with it. I truly, yeah, it takes time, and everybody has to realize that. Um, I've even been corrected by my kids sometimes. So it's like, and here I've known it for all my life. Where are you from, Michelle?
I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born in New York, actually, in
But
Bronx.
where you live? Where do you live now? That's what I
In
mean.
Orlando. Yeah,
In
I was
Orlando.
in
Oh, okay.
Miami.
You're in Florida. Okay, with me.
Yeah.
And you're from Puerto Rico. Okay, good. I will say this to those of you who have chosen and whatever, and once one of you said something about obviously I'm not Jewish because I know your skin color is a little different. That doesn't matter at all. I mean, I have a friend who has adopted three children, of which two of them are from Ethiopia and one's from Korea. And they've been raised Jewish and they are Jewish. They've been born by mitzvah. And there are many, many people. I mean, Judaism comes in all shapes and sizes. Honestly, it truly does. And we're not the kind of religion that proselytizes, that we go out and get, but we welcome. Um, and I would love to say all, because there are some groups of Judaism that don't even welcome me. That, it's just, but we welcome everyone because to take on Judaism is to take on quite a feat. To take on, I used to say this to people. I couldn't understand why someone would want to be a part of a group that's being persecuted. That, that people don't like us because we're Jewish. And I know the Black culture has the same thing. And it's like, if you're doing this, if you're taking this on, it really means something to you. And that's amazing because to me, that's better than anything, that you really feel it and want to be a part of this phenomenal. And I say this, it's a history, it's a culture, it's, we're part of something that's been around for thousands of years. And even some of our davening, our praying, those prayers are thousands of years old, and our psalms are thousands of years old. So it's something quite unique. It truly is. And I commend all of you for wanting to take this class and wanting to learn more and wanting to take all of this on. So it's great. All right, what's the timing? Let me see. Okay. You know what? Let's do a little bit of, some of you I know would like a little maybe refresher on your letters. So I'm gonna screen share, but and you can unmute anytime and ask questions anytime. For anybody, okay? I'm not formal. So, all right. What I'd like to do is, I think we'll do some letters. I just want to see if y'all, those of you who who say you're not quite sure of your letters, to read them. I won't. Sheila, and Judy, and Jen, your letters. You've done different things.
Most of it.
So I think, Denise, do you feel comfortable that you know all your letters?
I can look at them and know how to pronounce them, but I don't know the names of all of them. My grandson does.
You can
So I
you
don't know.
can look at them and pronounce them. So you don't know that it says bet. You know it's a B.
Well, I know Aleph, Bet, Gimel. I Lamed,
Dalit is the next one.
Dalet. Yeah. See, but yet I can, like, I know the K sound and I know the F sound. That, but I don't know what they're called.
Okay, that's something you want to know.
Yes,
That's
I know.
something you do want to know. You want to know what these are called, just like we go ABC. We know what it is. So,
Right.
okay, so let's do a little bit screen share on a. I have. Wait a minute. Share sound. Share. Okay. So, this is Olivet Quest. It's called it. And I am going to wait 1 second. I'm sorry. I gotta fix this so I get more of you in. Okay, I got more of you in. All right. So I know it's a problem for some people are the final letters too, but we're gonna look at, let me find it. All right. So here's Bet, Olive, and Iron. Okay. These are pretty easy for the most part, Aleph and Ayin, because they're silent letters, and you basically hear the vowel that's under them. All right. So I'm going to go into it, and I'm going to move this around a little bit. Okay. So let's do a little bit of, I think. Let's do a little bit of lines. So here's your Aleph. When I do this, it's going to tell you, it's going to say each thing.
Ah,
Ah,
ma,
ah,
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 sha,
ah,
ba,
ah,
ah.
Okay. So those are you're hearing with the Aleph and the Ayin, you're hearing just the Ah sound. When you get to others like the Mem, this one, and the Shin and the Bet, you hear B, or you hear the letter and your vowel. That's another key thing. You all have to know your vowels. That's really very important that you all know your vowels. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to read. So Denise, read for me line 4.
Shah, Ash, Sha'ash, is that right?
Yes,
Shah, Ba, Shaba, Shah, Ma, Shaba, Shama.
good. Okay. Let me see. Geraldine, how do you feel about trying line 5? Unmute, please. Unmute.
Sorry, I had to make it a little bigger so I could see it.
Chris.
So that's Sha'am.
Good. Uh-huh.
It was?
Yes, that
That
was
was right?
Sha'am. That was right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So this would be Ma'am.
Okay.
Mom. Yeah. Mom.
Good.
Sham and Ba'am.
Good.
Ba'am
That's good. And
and
this?
Masham.
Good. Okay. All right. So let's go back. Let me get back in here. Um, sorry. I haven't been in this one in a while. I bet you it's going to take me to the beginning again. Sugar. Okay. Let's go back to alphabet. Edith, how do you feel about reading? You feel comfortable reading some of this?
Sure.
Okay, let me get this up again. And for those of you who know it, I know this is going to be a little bit just repeat more but just bear with us just so I can get an idea what everyone knows. And then we'll start working on prayers. And we'll take it slowly with prayers. Edith, let's go to, let me go to this one. Okay.
Sadi.
Sadi, right. So
Sorry.
let's go to Sadi. It gives you other letters too, so that's,
Okay.
so where are you? Okay, so let me hear you read line 2.
Okay. Zaad. Mazah.
Good.
Zemed.
Tse, tse.
Zeh. Yeah. Zemed.
It's not, you're doing a Z like a Zion. It's a
Mhm.
tsadi. So a tsadi is like a tsa. It's not a
Yeah.
Z, it's a tsa. It's a
Yeah.
little harder. So try it again.
I'm not hearing myself. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. Zemad.
Med.
Would you say it, please? Let me hear you.
Yes. All right. It's tse med. I'm gonna
Zemed.
play it. I'm gonna play it for you. Listen.
Semed.
Tse med. Tse.
Zemed. Mhm.
Okay. And this one?
Disa.
Ditsa. Now you don't hear the yud. It's just ditsa.
Right. Disa.
Okay. And this?
Basad. Basal.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
And this one?
Yosi.
Good. Yotzi. Yotzi. Good. You all do know your letters. I know you're having a little bit trouble with it, but you know, if you remember those lamids and all those others, that's good. Okay. Let me see who else. I don't have all of you on the screen. That's the problem. Okay. Sheila knows her Hebrew. Let me see who else it is. Geraldine, did you did it? You did it. You did it. Edith did it. Michelle, why don't we read this last line right here?
Is it Xiom?
Tome. Mm-hmm.
Hayom?
Yes.
Atsom?
Right.
Sod?
Geraldine, you have to mute, dear.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead again, Michelle.
Is it sod?
It's sa-od.
Sao.
Sa-od.
Um, Mao.
Now there's a tzadi there.
Matzo.
Matzo
Yeah.
is the O. And this,
Salol.
sa-lol. You hear the lamed, sa-lol.
Yes.
Okay. All right, ladies. Anyone else? Let me see. Jen, you know. I think that's it. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing on this part. Okay. What we can do is we can actually go to one of the brachot. And before I do that, I do want to start with something. How many of you wear a kippah when you're in shul?
Not a key. I cover my head, but not a kippah.
Okay, but you cover your head.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, you do. Okay. I'm assuming that most of you are at egalitarian, but I'm not, I guess I shouldn't assume. But do any of you wear a talit? Raise your hand if you wear a talit. Okay. All right. So this is my thing, and something I learned as from a rabbi, a female rabbi, is she used to say that, and this is just, and you can do what you want with this. She used to say, you're part of an egalitarian, so therefore, men have to do it, women should have to do it. It was her opinion. I don't necessarily feel like women have to do it, but I encourage women to. I think it's important to wear a head covering, a kippah. It says it in the Torah. There goes Sherilyn. It says in the Torah that you cover your head before God. So when I do classes, because we're going to do prayers, different prayers, I will wear a kippah always, as you can see.
Oh,
Okay. I also wear a talit. It's something I started years ago, and it feels comfortable. What I don't do yet, and that's just me, and I don't know if any of you do, is I don't lay tefillin, the one with the straps. I have not done that yet. So you haven't either, Jen.
I
um,
have done it for the wrap that they do every year. Once a year they do the wrap, so I tend to do it then.
okay. My thing is, honestly, that if I decide that I am going to do tefillin, then I'm going to take on that mitzvah always. And so therefore it would be mean doing it every morning, doing a service. And I personally am not ready for that. I mean, and I'm not young, but I'm just not ready for that. So I don't do that. But whenever I'm at a service, I wear a talit because I took on that mitzvah and I took that on. And anytime I do anything with any kind of prayer, I wear a kippah. So if think about that, and if you want, take it on. If not, don't worry. You have to feel comfortable. What, Denise?
I was kind of discouraged from wearing a talit from different people
Really?
that I spoke to. A lot of the women in my synagogue don't wear a talit, and none of them cover their head, and they kind of made it feel like I was being overzealous or something. So I've been discouraged because I would love to wear it, but I haven't done it because I don't want to look like I'm pushing too hard.
How does your rabbi feel about it?
I don't think he would care one way or the other. I haven't spoken to him I just kind of look around me, and I do see young girls, especially that have had their bat mitzvah. They wear a talit.
Good. Good.
I don't know. I just maybe because I'm new, I just don't want to. I don't want to seem like pushy or whatever.
You know what, Denise? You have to be who you are. And if you want to do this, what's it doing to anybody else? Is it hurting anybody? Right? You're not hurting anyone. You're doing this. You're taking this on for you. That's what it is in Judaism, and that's what it is with a lot of these rituals. You're taking it on for you to feel that you're a part of it, and this is important. So you want to wear it, you should wear it. And we can talk about it another time because it's an amazing feeling, I find. I feel like I'm embraced by God. I do. And things matter as much to me. But I do understand a lot of people don't, and that's okay. But you have to do what's right for you. Edith, what would you were You raised your,
I was just gonna agree with Denise that most of the ladies don't wear it in my synagogue, but I wear it and I am comfortable because there are a couple of people that I admire that wear theirs. And so if they have theirs, then I'm comfortable with it. There of the women that are in there, there might be about 5 of us that wear them all the time.
okay. But that's good. You do it because you feel comfortable and that's right for
Yeah,
you. And that's
right.
what matters. Those of you that do wear a talit, do you say the prayer to put on the talit?
Yes.
Always. Mhm.
Okay, good, good. I always am concerned about that some women are just
Okay,
putting it
now,
on.
okay, so that's something I need to learn.
Okay, and we'll do that. Okay, we won't do it right now, but we will do that because I think it's important. If you're ready to wear a talit, and we'll learn that prayer, and you say that prayer, and you're 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 really becoming more of the congregation, more of that part of it, and the people who don't wear them, many of them are you've they're old. I shouldn't say they're older because my daughter doesn't wear one, and she's at a Reform temple. And I don't know why she doesn't. She has one, but she doesn't wear it. And but mostly I have found that it is our seniors who don't wear them because they never understood it. They they didn't do it then when they were younger,
That's right.
so they don't do
Hear
it
that a
now.
lot.
But I will tell you that one of the women's league has helped me so much to become the Jewish woman that I am. And I learned from a couple of women who were at the time, I guess I was in my 40s, and they were in their 70s, and they were reading Torah and wearing a talit. And I was so amazed and admired them so much that that encouraged me to try to want to do more. So if you have, it does help, Denise, that if you know that the rabbi is good with it, then you've got the support of the Mara Da'atra, person who's in charge. So that's good. All right. Let's see how we doing. We can do a prayer or two if you would like. We could get started on that. And what I've done in the past with my classes is I put prayers up, and then I have everybody read a line. I find that the best way that I can correct you if you need it. And it just works best. If you don't want to read in front of anyone, I understand. So you don't have to. But let's work on something. So I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to go into. Okay, so here's the Shehechiana, because some of you, this is a first. So, and I can't get that. This is a prayer that you should know by heart, but you should be able to read it too. So I'll have everybody read it. Denise, I'm going to start with you. So let me hear you read this.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehekianu v'yikimanu
Vikiyamanu. It's Vehecheyanu, Vikiyamanu. Say that.
v'hechianu v'kiyamanu
Good.
v'higianu,
Anu.
right?
You don't hear the yud, it's Anu.
V'higianu. Yeah, I keep saying the yud. V'higianu. Let's Lazman.
Yes.
Lazman Torah.
Oh, what's this?
Hazeh.
Yes, Hazeh. Good.
Okay.
This is a Zion, everybody. The dot doesn't mean anything in there. It's just the way they've done this. It's the script that they've done it. And you'll find that occasionally. So you ignore that dot. Okay. Sheila, I think you read this, right? You've read this?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyimanu
No, no, no.
v'hagayanu
Vehigianu. Vehigianu.
v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Good. Okay. See, sometimes some words we get caught up in them.
V'higimanu.
Michelle, let's hear you read it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechi imanu
Yanu. Say it again.
sheche iyanu
Stop. She he.
sheche
This is a hey. This is a chet. Okay, try again.
sheche I
Che,
he
It's a chet.
sheche iyanu
Yanu.
yanu ve veki
Yeah.
imanu
Yeah. The key, the two dots means that you kind of just hear the sound of the yud. The key manu,
veki imanu.
not e. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it gets complicated, guys.
That's
Vek-
okay. Come on. Just keep practicing. Let's go. You try it again.
Veki imanu
Yeah. Manu.
imanu
Okay.
vehigi yanu
Anu. You don't hear the yud.
vehig anu
This ve, he, gi,
vehig
nu.
yanu.
Okay. All right. You got to work at it. Go ahead.
Lazman hazed.
Haze. Okay, good. You got to make sure that you're pronouncing each one of them the way they should. All righty. That's good. Judith, you want to read it for us, please? Unmute everybody. Unmute.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehayanu
No, shehe. Stop. Shehe. Che. Yanu.
Higianu
Say it again. Say this one.
Shehecheyanu
Yes.
Bekimanu Behigianu Lazman Hazeh.
Good. Very good. Sometimes it does. It's a mouthful with a lot of these vowels together. Edith. Yeah, Edith, let me hear you read
A
this.
lot of time.
Yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehekiyanu
Yeah. Che. Chet. She.
shehekiyanu.
Stop. I know that's a hard one. The chus, those guttural sounds are harder. It's a
Okay.
she. I'm gonna stop. Edith, stop 1 minute. I'm just gonna say it for you. She, he, che, ya, nu. Now do it.
Shehekiyanu.
All right.
That sound is a big
I
problem.
know. It's a lot. It's a lot of people, believe me.
I
Okay.
can't. Okay. Vicky Yamanu
Good. Uh-huh.
Bihigi Anu
Yes.
La Lasman
Mm-hmm.
Lasman
Man. Good.
Haze.
Good. Okay. All righty. And Geraldine, let's hear you say this.
You really don't want to hear me say this. Let me see.
Come on, let's practice. You can do it.
Okay, I'm just waiting. I'm looking forward to that sound there towards the end. Okay.
Good.
Baruch atah Adonai Elo. Is that hey? No.
Yes, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Hey, new.
Good.
That's Mel. Is that Melech?
Yeah, Melech. Yes.
It was. Oh,
It's a final chaf here. So that's Melech.
okay. Hello, Melech. Um, hi. Oh,
Ha.
wait a minute. Ha. Oh, how olam.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Okay. She, she, ha,
Okay. I'm going to stop you there. Just stop. Just listen to me as I do it. She, he, che, ya, nu. This is your hey. So you only hear the, like you're blowing. And this is the chaf, the chet, I mean, and that's chet. Okay, try it
so wait
again.
a
Try
minute.
it.
The first three, so it's she,
She,
che, he, ha, ke,
che, che.
he.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. With the yud and the ya. What is this? Ya, lo, ya, lo? No,
What is this? What
ya,
is this
lo.
letter? What is this letter?
Uh, is it the N?
It's a nun,
None. Yeah,
nun. And this is the
none.
vowel. So put this,
So
so it, these together.
no,
New,
new.
new. I
Ooh,
teach the
ooh.
kids,
Okay.
everybody, I teach the kids, it's a little crazy, but the dot in the middle is though they've been pushed in the stomach. Ooh, that's ooh. So always that dot in the middle is the ooh. All right, let's do
Ooh,
this one.
okay. Um, I can't. I don't know.
All right, it's vi. Just listen as I say it. Vi ki ma nu. Vi ki
Vicky
ma
et
nu.
Manu.
Ma nu.
Vicky
Okay.
et Manu. Yeah.
Ki ma nu. You hear like a
Kia
y.
Manu.
Okay. And then this.
Okay. Can I pass it on to somebody else?
Now I'm going to do it with you.
Okay.
Vi. Listen.
Ve
Vi.
Veha
He.
Ki
One dot. Gi.
Ki
A. Nu. Let me. Vi. He. Gi. A. Nu.
Ve He Ki Ba
Ah.
A Ba Nu
Nu. A. Nu.
Nu. Oh,
Right.
I knew. Okay.
A. Nu. Yes. This is
Okay.
an ion, and the ion is silent. Silent. So all you hear is the vowel under it. Ah. And then this is the nun and the oo.
Nu.
Nu. Okay. Let's do
Okay.
this one.
Laz Mal
Okay. Hear
Ma
the Zion. Hear the Zion. Laz.
Laz Ma Ma
Man. This is final nun. Man. Look at it and say it. Lazman.
Laz Man
Good.
Ha Zaha
Ze.
Zah Ze
Right. Ha. Ze.
Ha Ze.
Right. Okay. Everybody, Olam is the world. Melech is a ruler. There's a couple of words in there to learn them. Okay. Jen, please read it for me.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, shehekiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
Okay. All right. Good. All right, everybody. Okay. I tell you what, I think we're going to stop at this point. Did everybody read? Judy, you didn't read, did you? Or did you? You did. Everybody read this. All right. Okay, for some of you, Geraldine, you're muted, but that's okay. For those of you who had a little bit of trouble, if you have, um, I don't think I sent it to you. Um, do you have letters that you can practice? You have a list of the letters to practice? I'm just going to send you all that. I'm going to
Yes.
send it. If you don't need it, you don't have to print it. But I'll send you a list of the letters and I'll send you a list of the vowels. And for those of you who would like to know that you need to practice a little bit, read them, read it over. I will periodically send you things. I'll also send you some YouTubes that you can listen to some things as we get into more of the prayers. But you all did very good. And I know for those of you that are stumbling, don't be hard on yourselves. It happens. You haven't been doing it that many years. For those of you who are stumbling, it just, like I said, it's a hard language. It really is. Jen agrees, really, because it's the way they put words together, and they put some of these vowels and then these letters that are a chet or a chaf, that is that sound in the back, and they put it right next to another letter, and you've got to. So my thing is that you need to read each one slowly, and you read it slowly, and you read it slowly until it becomes easier. And then you get it. Then all of a sudden you say to yourself, oh, I don't know why I didn't know that, but it's okay because they're hard to do. Lots of times those final letters, you don't realize them, but the final letters are important. The final chaf, final nun. I think I have a thing about final letters too. I can send you. So
Yeah,
everybody have a good night, a good rest of the night. For those of you who had to eat, don't worry about it. Just do it. It's a crazy time, and if we've been busy and all, I have to tell you, I teach Hebrew school in the morning for the little ones, so I've been like going all day. But I love getting to meet you all, and I will see you next Sunday. Okay.